time, craziness, things that come out of left field. So this is kind of just a anecdotal. People got killed, so it's not funny in that regard. But from the cop humor side, it is a little funny. So out here in Kansas City, barbecue is the coin of the realm. Like, and everybody's got their favorite spot, and everybody's got their favorite sauce, and there's like 100. When you say you want to go out for barbecue tonight, it's like, which one of 150 places do you want to go to? So when I had the gun squad, ATF, Kansas City Task Force group, we were going to assist another unit with a pattern armed robbery crew that they were working, and we were working it with them. I mean, it was the beauty of Kansas City is like when one group in our little secret squirrel building had a case heat up, like if we had a case heat up and it's like, hey, we need a really fat cover team, other groups would come and help us. And of course, the KCPD, SNUTAC, the Street Narcotics Tactical Squad, SWAT, they always had at least one team that would be with us, not just us, but any unit, any operation, any surveillance takedown by whatever, they were going to be in the wings. Good. So this is going to be yet another night of surveillance on identified armed robbery suspects. So we're going to watch them, where they live, their apartments, and if they come out and get together and all hop in a car, we're going to follow them because they're only getting together for one reason, to do another armed robbery. And we are going to try to intercede before they can get into a commercial location, and we are going to take them down. If we cannot stop them before they get in, if that's not viable, we will wait for them to come out and take them down after they come out. We don't want to go into the location if in the middle of an armed robbery. That's going to ratchet up. Unless they actually started shooting, then we're absolutely coming in, because that's what we do. You have no choice. But in any event, yet another night, and like 2 o'clock in the morning, bad guy number one comes out of his apartment with a gun in his hand, masked up, with another bad guy. They get into a car and they go. And we also have a helicopter assigned to this effort. And again, we're just helping out another unit that we work with every day. So these two meet up with a third guy jumps in their car, and now they're off. We're like, okay, it's now 2:30, 3 in the morning. We know they're going to be looking for a place to rob. And sure enough, they did look for a place to rob. And they wound up running into a commercial location. They came out all with guns in their hands. They're confronted by the SWAT team, and they don't want to give up. Every bad guy gets a vote. And one bad guy was shot and killed on the spot. And another guy wound up running, blew out his hamstring. He got grabbed. And then a third guy was in such a excited state from seeing his buddy get like 20 holes in him, that he just kind of did one of these pirouettes into the ground, and he got grabbed. So to backtrack, of the funny part of this was, we had said, typically, if we know we're going to go out to what could be an all-night operation, we're all going to, hey, who wants to go get something to eat? So one of the guys said, oh, let's go to Bryant's. And Bryant's Barbecue, pretty well known. It's been around forever. It was President Harry Truman's favorite place. There's a huge picture of him on a wall. So we go to Bryant's. That's where we eat. Then we go do this surveillance, follow the armed robbery crew, winds up into a shooting One bad guy dead, two under arrest. Good. Fast forward to yet another operation that we're going to do. Again, helping out the same unit. Where do you guys want to go to eat tonight? Oh, let's go to Bryant's. Bryant's is awesome. Now, from being at Bryant's the first time, I had gotten like this. You could get barbecue a lot of different ways, but this place, every place has this specialty. Bryant's, you could say, give me like half a pound of meat, turkey, pork, whatever. And they would give you as much as you want, and their barbecue sauce is all over the place, and there's loaves of bread. So you can make as many sandwiches. Just keep eating until you start sweating and roll out of the place. So we're in Bryant's again before an operation. It's going to be a surveillance of a major meth trafficker that would only move his product after midnight because he felt that was the safest time for him to be on the road and not have the attention of law enforcement, except he had the attention of a lot of law enforcement that night. And he was going to get taken off when he brought, it was like 10 or 11 pounds of meth to this particular house. So he does. DEA was with us on that also. They had gotten a search warrant for what they knew to be the supplier, like a major supplier. And guy delivering the 11 pounds, he has a gun and he tries to run. He doesn't shoot, but he quickly gets crushed. DEA executes their warrant simultaneously, and there's a massive shootout where nobody gets hit. But there's probably 50 rounds fired from the top of the stairs to the bottom of the stairs. The entry team, they back out. And there are shots. So now the armored trucks get there. The house is surrounded. And it's basically a barricaded gunman now who, throughout the night, is shooting at the armored trucks. And he's, just lost his mind. So after daylight, they put gas into the house, and he comes out of the back door like Tony Montana with a AR, and he wants to take on the world, and he gets unalived instantaneously. So that's yet another bad guy on an op that's been shot and killed by the Kansas City SWAT guys. Good. Every bad guy gets a vote, and this guy voted he wanted to shoot it out, and we won and he lost. Well, we were going to get ready. This is, sometime down the road. We're going to go do another op, and, with the stakes were a little bit raised. It was, it had all the makings of this could end in Gunsmoke. And the guys are talking, this is going to be a long night. Let's get something to eat before we go out on this adventure. To which I yell out to everybody, let's go to Bryant's. They're like, hey, we're not going to Bryant's. It's not going to be a trifecta, because going to Bryant's, you're just guaranteeing we're going to be in another, shooting. So we didn't go to Bryant's, and we didn't get into a shooting. And I haven't been to Bryant's since that. I don't know. Crazy, right? But there you go. The crazy things, the cops find funny. It's like, who wants to guarantee a shootout tonight? Let's go to Bryant's. No, we're not going to Bryant's tonight. We're going to go anywhere else but that place. Yeah. And it's good. It's good barbecue. I can tell you exactly what I got. I got steak fries and about half a pound of hot sliced turkey. I tell you what, you just want to go home and go to bed. You don't want to go out and work for the next 12 hours. It's that good. But all the barbecue play, that was like the big, shock to the system of a New York City guy coming out to Kansas City. The barbecue out here, like, it's deadly serious. Like, if you want to be ridiculed say something uneducated about barbecue. And one of my bosses at ATF, he's retired now, JD. What's up, buddy? I find out he is like a certified barbecue event judge. I'm like the worldwide of barbecue, you know? Like, he's a judge. Like, can't make this up. Yeah. Yeah. You know, if I had to take these guys to New York City, you know, they would similarly find, you know, something that we do all the time. Like, and I actually did bring my squad to New York City for a week to do help out another ATF group. They were calling for bodies from all over the country to come in and help with this massive takedown, and it was going to be about a week-long operation. So I knew the guy that was doing the case. I'm like, oh, can I bring my whole squad out? We'll help you. Anything you need, we'll do anything. We'll carry your luggage, get you delicate pastries, whatever you want. He's, oh my God, yeah. So didn't have to tell me twice. So so now my entire squad, ATF agents, Kansas City detectives, none of them have ever been to New York City. Not one of them. Not even close to the East Coast. Because quite frankly, when you grow up in the heartland, it's like, you don't need to go anywhere else. Everything you need is like right here. But I tell them, hey, everybody block the week off. You're coming to New York City. We're going to do this op. We're going to help out. And make sure you get a lot of sleep, because nobody's going to sleep for a week, because I'm taking you guys everywhere. And we did. So when we go, you know, we do the operation. So as the boss, one of the first things, I'm like, okay, what arrangements have been made for lodging? And, you know, you got to do like the devil in the details, all the administrative stuff. And I would like to do it for all my guys, so they didn't have to like worry about all that nonsense. So the guy running the case, he's like, oh, we got 2 hotels that we're going to rent like big blocks of rooms. And I'm like, what hotels? And he gives me the name of the hotel. He's like, Best Western down by the South Street Seaport. And I'm like, I know that hotel. I'm like, so the reason that they're trying to get those kind of hotels is because you have to stay within the government per diem amount for lodging. And I think per diem lodging for New York City, they capped it at $273 a night. Like, you can't stay in a place that's going to charge more than $273. If you're in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, it may be like $80 a night, but it changes all over the country. So anyway, I'm looking at this, and I'm like looking at the other hotel. I'm like, I'm not putting my guys up there. It's crazy talk. So my buddy was detective in the Midtown North Precinct in Manhattan, Hollywood, you know, the center of everything. I go to him, Anthony. I say, hey, and I knew the answer already. I'm like, I need a hookup for the Marriott Marquis in Times Square. They have it's like a 50 or 60 floor hotel. They got like 800, 1,000 rooms, massive. And I think the 48th floor had a revolving bar. So like every 20 minutes, it made a 360. You could sit there with your drink, and you've now gotten a 360 view of, you look down at the USS Intrepid, down to, you know, the Empire State Building, and it's just awesome. But the rooms are not $273 a night. They're like $500-600 a night. So Anthony hooks me up with a guy, retired cop that's working at the hotel, and I say, hey, I need like, I don't know, 10 or 13 rooms. Maybe it was like 15. And I can't go over $273 a night. He says, yeah, I'll give you all the rooms, $273 a night for the whole week. Done. And if you have any vehicles, you don't have to park them in the street. Park them in our outside front door, which is not a street, and just leave them by the front door. If we need you to move them, move them. You don't have to worry about parking. My Midtown North pallet already thought of that, and he's like, he got us all like precinct parking passes. because I drove my ATF truck out there with everybody's gear. So I could park with the precinct plaque, but I had to stay by the precinct, which was only like a few blocks walk from the Marriott Marquis. So this goes out to all the other teams. Like, Immesberger's guys are staying at the Marriott Marquis. Why can't we stay at the Marriott Marquis? And I'm like, well, you can stay at the Marriott Marquis for $600 a night or whatever it is, but you don't have to hook up, bro. Sorry. Best Western for you down at the Seaport. Sleep with your gun under the pillow so you don't get robbed. My guys had the time of their life. Here's another big Kansas City thing. 10 of us go to lunch, and I didn't try to break the code because this is just the way it's done out here. Waitress would come over, 10 of us at a table, and she's writing individual checks for every person. Like, everybody pays for what they got. I'm like, we never do that in New York. It's like the waitress lose their mind if she has to write 10 individual checks. It's like, hey, one check, I'm throwing it on the table, whack it up, whatever. So we come to New York. One of the things on my tour was we're going to Sparks Steakhouse, where John Gotti and Sammy Gravano put together the hit on Paul Castellano, the head of Gambino crime family at that time, which actually was 40 years ago this month. 60th Street, 61st Street in Manhattan somewhere. I think it was on the east side. Anyway, I get a reservation for all of us to go to Sparks Steakhouse at night because I want these guys, first of all, it's historical because of what happened there, but it's a great steak place. It's old men waiter, like legit guys, like wearing the vest, the suit jacket, the towel over the arm. It's like professional waiters. So I give the briefing before we go, and I'm like, listen up. Nobody's wearing a baseball hat in this place, and nobody's wearing a T-shirt, so put, a little something on. And there's no splitting the check. There's no... We're not going to have 13 separate checks. And the first guy that asked that is probably going to get smacked with a semolina roll. Hey, you're not in Kansas City anymore. So I just tell him it's going to be one check. So don't order a Caesar salad, because when the check gets whacked up 13 ways and then the tip, you're going to be paying for the lobster and prime rib. So you might as well just order a good meal because you're going to pay for it anyway. So that was like a bit of a shock to the conscience. It's like, that's how we do it in New York. It's like, we're not writing 13 separate checks here. So they had the time of their life, and hilarious. So the sergeant that I had was my task force sergeant, had been a SWAT sergeant, Kansas City. Another one of my guys, Owen, my battle buddy, he had been a SWAT guy before they got into my task force. And the TV reality show that went around to Kansas City and Dallas, like Dallas SWAT, Kansas City SWAT, they profiled my sergeant and this task force detective everywhere they went for like a few months, showing how a SWAT team operates. So knowing that, I said, well, being that we're going to be at the Marriott Marquis, I am going to take you to the emergency service section, truck 1, the Hollywood truck, which at that time was the building directly behind the New York City Police Department Academy building. And now their academy is, I believe, it's no longer there. It's either Bronx, Queens. Yeah, good. So I'm like hoping, so I've worked a lot with emergency service when I was in Brooklyn. What's the chance that I'm going to run into somebody I know that can actually show these guys around, because they're enamored. Like, we're at the big show now. Wow. New York City Emergency Service, which is the SWAT guys for New York. And they do so much more than just SWAT stuff, but they're very well known. What NYPD issue guy, truck 1 is, literally at the front door, my first wife's cousin's partner, who I've met a few times, so he knows me. And I'm like, yo, yo, yo. And I quickly explained to him, like, hey, I've got my crew out here for a week, and I've got the Kansas City sergeant and a task force detective. They used to be Kansas City SWAT. They were on that TV show. You know, I know you guys are busy. If you have 5 minutes, can you just give them the tour, the big truck, the quarters, the whole thing? And he's like, I've been a cop over 30 years. I've been in this truck for over 20 years. I will give them the A to Z tour. We're going to be here for a few hours. And we were. And he is getting one of the younger guys. He's like, pull this off the truck, pull that off the truck. This is stuff that we do. This is how we do this. This is how we do this. And then, of course, he's got fellow former SWAT guys. So he goes, well, I think the sergeant saw something. He goes, what's that? And he goes, oh, that's the whizzer. It was a very small cutting tool. And he's like, what would you guys use that for? And he goes, well, we could use it for any tight confinement where we have to cut through a piece of metal, a lock, something where there's not room to have a bigger tool. But what we really use it for is a few times a week, we'll get called from Bellevue, big trauma hospital, Low Manhattan, or any one of the other hospitals, and they will get a few times a week to where now it's almost like the hospital knows who to call. They know we have this, and bring that thing up here that you guys use. Well, they're talking about the whizzer, and this is why they called it the whizzer. Guys would feel the need to put a restrictive metal ring on their thing, and then they have a larger thing that is now trapped this metal ring, which now won't come off, can't come off because of, anatomical magic. So they present themselves at the hospital after they've tried everything else, and the hospital knows, call emergency service, not over 911. We're just going to call the truck, and they know what to do. They come down. So 2 emergency service guys to get gowned up like they're Dr. Kildare, and they got the whizzer and a big bottle of water. And what they do is gently, you got one guy spraying water to cool the blade, and they cut through this metal ring. They can open it and free willy, I guess is the best way to put it. And this is like 10 years ago that trip was, and my guys will be in a bar, would get together, retired guys now, and hey, remember the whizzer? Remember the whizzer story? Crazy. I'm pulling back the curtain like to the Wizard of Oz and giving you, gentle listeners, the glimpse of the show behind the show. And we always say, if you become a cop or a federal agent in a busy place, you just got yourself a ticket to the front row seat of the greatest show on earth, because that show literally it keeps playing out every single day. And if you're motivated and disciplined to be in the mix, you are literally you're just gonna see things that nobody else sees. And then you're gonna see a lot of things that nobody should ever want to see. But there you go. There. Story time at its best. I can weave a yarn. But the whizzer, that's a true story.